Yeah, what's good with y'all, man? This Cello again, aka the Last Messiah. Now, earlier this week, I told y'all that I was gonna drop another video concerning Islam and how it is nothing more than Arabic Christianity. And in this topic, this discussion, I'm finna give y'all that, but I need y'all to pay close attention to the facts and the details that I'm giving y'all in this video because you know I had another discussion where people were talking about half truths and how people don't really explain things to them when they follow people. And that's mainly what I try to do in my talking points. I try to give y'all all the information up front. So I'll mention certain words and certain things, but y'all got to put it in your own legwork, man, to go verify it and look this shit up because I'm giving y'all the keys. I'm not saying shit that's only verifiable on fake websites and religious doctrines. I'm leading you straight to the book to show you exactly what these verses are so you can read them in context and understand them for yourself. So, understand nothing about these videos of mine are misleading. I'm trying to get y'all to put y'all on the proper perspective to understand the literature of these books. Hold on a second, y'all. All right, now let's dive into it. After the Islamic diaspora, right? When they claimed the Romans sacked Israel and drove out the Jewish people. After diaspora, they went into Africa. Now, a lot of people don't understand that when they went into North Africa, when they went into Africa, they went into North Africa. So North Africa should always be understood as a different border connection as the rest of sub-Saharan Africa with the majority black population. This is no different than looking at North and South America and thinking that if you come into North America just because it's connected, that the geography, or the genetic dispersal in the ethnic culture of South America is equivalent to the same thing in the North, and it's the same way in Africa. If you go to North Africa, it's a totally different, region and culture than Sub-Saharan Africa and South Africa. So you have to understand that just because something is in Africa doesn't mean that it's automatically attached to black skin or Sub-Saharans. Now, when the diaspora happened and the Jews migrated into Libya, Egypt, Tunisia, and all these other places that was in North Africa, it was already predominantly inhabited by people from the Levant, Caucasoids, Eurasians, and all these people from Egyptian times. You dig what I'm saying? So when this whole Christianity situation happened, from the migration in the first century of the Christians into North Africa, they lived all the way until like the fifth, sixth century, to where the Arabic tribes like the Quraysh and the other people decided to move in and conquer the territory. So when the uprise of the Muslims happened, all of the Christians and the people that were in North Africa were driven out because the religious clash that happened between the Muslims and the Christians. So a lot of them ended up on another diaspora and ended up going into Germany and all these other places. That's why you have more Ashkenazis and Jews and stuff like that ended up in Hitler's territory up in Germany and mainly in Europe because they were driven out there by the Muslims. You know what I'm saying? The Muslims literally came in, drove the Romans, the Jews, everybody that was in that region of the area that were not Muslim, they got their ass out of there. So now, you see Islam is coming to conquer and dominate and spread their religion. Not all people in Africa got the religion by force, but a lot of it was because the contract of the expansion was either you accept our way or die. That's why their whole emblem is a sword, dude, because they came through on war and conquest. Now, as for West Africa, yeah, they set up trade posts and all of that stuff there, and you know, eventually African people adopted Islam. That happens the same way we adopted Christianity. When you are introduced to a new philosophy of a God, and people are drilling you and telling you this since you were a baby that if you don't live a certain way, you going to hellfire, a lot of people is not going to resist that message, man. They're going to gravitate towards that. So now, the reason why I brought up this hellfire is because this is the key to show you that this Islamic doctrine is nothing more than Christianity. No religion on earth besides the Egyptians talked about torment or living outside of the realm of the creators or whatever in an afterlife at first. Then you had the Persians who came with their religion of Zoroastrianism, which had a devil and a god. But mainly, all of this devil shit started with Christianity. You know what I'm saying? And Greek mythology. See what I'm saying? So, as this hellfire shit, or this religion about hellfire, or preaching this hell doctrine, went on for so long, that when Islam came about, they incorporated this hellfire doctrine. And the reason Prophet Muhammad was able to convince his followers that he was the Messiah was to mislead people in particular verses. Like Deuteronomy 18, where it say, a prophet from amongst you, or something like that, or your brethren or something, will come and lead the people or something like that. So they took that as a prophecy of Muhammad. Dude, that has shit to do with Muhammad. That's talking about King David. You feel me? So I'm like, bro, how do these people take people that's in the future and apply them to these past texts when the verses are clearly telling you that this shit is happening in the time frame or the time it's written? You feel me? That's no different than 1st century AD. People started applying shit from the Old Testament to Jesus. This has nothing to do with them people. You are trying to push your following onto another person by using a previous book to validate him. It's in the book of John, I think it's John 14, where Jesus was talking about leaving the disciples the Holy Spirit or something, and the Holy Spirit will lead them to all truth. These Muslim niggas actually flipped this shit and said that Jesus was prophesying about the Prophet Muhammad, because he said Prophet Muhammad is a spirit of truth. And the way that the verse was written, as described as a he, the same way they describe God and he's a spirit, they say, oh, it got to be a man. Well, if that's the case, God a man, because the whole damn book is talking about God as a he. But this is how they play on these people's intellectual, you know what I'm saying, weakness, and they incorporate these bullshit doctrines onto them. This is like mainly the longest video, bro, that I have ever done, you know what I'm saying, on this topic, because I'm really trying. I hate how people jump from one fucking religion and jump directly into another one when we just tore down the whole foundation of this book. Judaism is the foundation of this book. If we telling you that this book was incorporated legends and history and moral stories for the Jewish people, then why in the hell does you, being an African person, feel like you are obligated to pick up this doctrine and spring into different religions that form from this same book? You won't even care about learning what your people learned in Africa or learned about any other culture besides what these people told you that you have to believe and made a mainstream doctrine. But if I say things like this, I'm the bad guy. All because I want to give you the uncut and unfiltered truth. Listen, all of these religions start from Judaism. You kill the head and the body dies. Christianity, Islam, all of that. Show me where Islam is not following the same beliefs of Jesus Christ, the hellfire and all of this. Because none of this is in the Old Testament. So if they telling you that they actually following the correct way of the Jews before Christianity corrupted the religion and the people of the book, as they call them, then why do you have a hell doctrine? Nowhere in Judaism is there a hell doctrine. Nowhere. I mean, we can argue this to doomsday, man. Nobody's gonna show me that, bro. You feel me? But as usual, like I tell y'all before I end these videos, we can have a discussion. I don't mean a discussion where you come and try to disrespect me or insult me or throw low key, you know what I'm saying, innuendos about, you know, how stupid you think I am and all that other shit, because I know that y'all is talking purely on emotionalism. Let's talk about the facts of the book if you're going to address this situation, man. You know what I'm saying? And let's deal with it. You know what I'm saying? 100.